Hola amigos, welcome back to Super Amigo Squad. I'm your fearless leader, Rio, and this is Mercer. If you've seen any of our old streams, we played Doom together, and I got immediately furious and handed him the controller about like a dozen times. We're finally back to playing video games together, whereas a lot of the times it's mostly me just playing video games because I'm so lonely. We're going to play Dragon Age Origins, which is an old game. I know it's an old game, but it's a game that we both have played. I've played way more than him, but
so much more.
It's not a problem.
Unless you admit it is.
I'm not admitting anything. So we're gonna be playing this and having some fun. And it's mostly just we're easing back into the channel, and we pick something that's easy enough for us to play. So that's what we're doing.
Plus, you know, nostalgia factor. It's one of the greatest games as far as modern RPGs that we have found in our experience. It's got an amazing story, amazing soundtrack. The first one in this series, beyond all the ones that follow, in my opinion, outclasses both 2 and 3. And it's got the best DLC also, in my opinion. They just did it right the first time.
I don't know, I'm going to argue with you in that, because when you get Talus in Dragon Age 2, and you get to basically dropkick a duke off a cliff.
Okay, Dragon Age 2 had its moments, but that's what they were. They were just moments. This one has the full package. From start to finish, you never lose the feeling like this story was all about you and you had complete control of what was going on.
Complete with awkward young adolescent having sex cutscenes.
There you go.
Because I would just like to remind everybody that the main character in this is usually in canon is like between 18 and 20. Because you're a youngin' to start now. But
that's true.
Yeah, so it's the game is equipped with awkward sex cutscenes.
With clothes on.
With clothes on.
Because somehow undergarments do not get in the way of romance. Just saying.
I mean, we're going to get demonetized. Don't do that. So we're going to jump into this. Let's do this.
Okay,
hit new game.
New game, alright.
Since we're playing on your computer and not my computer, you can't see my save files, so I know they're completely safe.
Of course, I can't delete everything that you've not finished.
Excuse me, you motherfucker.
No, you had it right the first time. Excuse you, yep.
Oh my god, was I supposed to read that?
The champion teaches us that it is
I should have read that out loud.
You are supposed to be the narrator.
I am. Except for Duncan. Don't talk over Duncan.
Sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it.
I'm really looking forward to that coming out in the newest game.
Twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn.
What I was slightly annoyed though is if you
They
choose
became a blight upon the lands.
when you can pick in your Dragon Age key for Inquisition, you could one of the options is to pick whether or not you killed the architect,
The Darkspawn drove at us again.
which is weird because it doesn't come up at all in that game.
I imagine it'll come up eventually.
If none of you have played Dragon Age or anything, this will probably be fun to watch, but
He's full of spoilers.
He's played it like 4 times, and I've played it like 19 times.
Dwarves don't ever get enough credit. You ever wonder how they manage to keep their population numbers up?
Fertility festivals.
Constantly have to fight the Darkspawn.
No, how they manage to have a caste system and have a whole subculture of people that they treat like actual garbage and manage to keep their numbers up.
Like I said, dwarves are pretty awesome.
They're really good in this game. When I first played this, I was Danish.
It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored.
Duncan is the best character in this game.
My own eyes, what lies on the horizon.
You try not to talk during cutscenes, and then the cutscenes are so long.
I mean, yeah.
That's how I felt about the some of the Fallout openings. The background you select will determine which 6 distinct opening stories you play through. It also affects how characters respond to you throughout the game, which is a really cool system that they haven't utilized at all in the other ones.
Very true. A lot of times your background has fairly weak influence on the story, and 2, you really didn't get a whole lot of choices besides really your class. Your class decides more to do about anything else in that game than most of your other decisions. And then, of course, in 3, it kind of changes a little bit. But this one, I mean, you got your whole origin story is different. Basically, who your nemesis is completely different. A lot of times when you go through the different arcs later in the game, depending on which origin story you had, it changes completely if that pertains to your character. And then, of course, it even alludes to events that happen to the other origin stories. So you kind of get a little piece of those, even if you didn't play through them on your playthrough that time. This time, I'm going to go with one that I'm very familiar with. And
Boo! Boo! Elves for life.
I always love being the cocky rogue. I'm always about being charismatic.
Rogue is the best character in the first game. No, Rogue is the best class in the first game. Honestly, because they put you in areas, and if you choose warrior, like for the human noble area, there's a bunch of like chests and stuff that you can loot. You can rob your own house. But if you're a warrior, you're basically the dumb warrior who forgot the keys to the shit in your own house.
This is pretty fair. One of the cool things about this game is the level of accessibility to other areas if you have a rogue in your party, but I always like being the rogue so that way I'm never without one throughout the game.
Because there are parts of the game that forces you to play by yourself and without your party.
Yeah, so I always like to be able to unlock things, discover new things. There's actually a part in the game later on, no spoilers, that if you are a rogue and you're going through it, you can actually get through the entire thing without actually having to kill anybody. You can actually take a fairly decent route, surprisingly enough, doing a very, roguish thing.
That honestly depends on the story, though. I'm very much depending on your characters, how they act kind of character. So, like when I did Elf Commoner, I did kind of sneak around and break into everything, but then I came back and killed everyone before I left. But that origin story, more so than most of them, wildly different.
Every reason to murder everybody.
All right, let's go forward.
Time to be the angsty child.
Greetings.
All right, so
goes all the way to the end for the bald preset.
I mean, yeah. If we're gonna be doing this, we're gonna do it right. We're not gonna do too much customization. Now, this is a fairly old game. and it did have a great deal of customization options. Even though, I mean,
well, you have to look at it in comparison. When I mean, they had different release times, of course, but Mass Effect had minimal kind of customization, whereas this is like you could create a monster if you wanted to.
Now we're going to go ahead and
if you guys hear any scratching or anything, there are kittens at our feet that like to climb in boxes. Oh man, I never mess with the expressions on these.
like I said, cocky rogue. I mean, that's the face you all will get to look at for this.
This is gonna be fucking terrible. I'm gonna make sure. I'm basically gonna be Jiminy Cricket, but Jiminy Cricket pre-AA.
So, rogue, you know, you get your typical things. Now, the things with rogue, obviously, you're gonna need dex. And you're probably going to need a little bit of strength if you're going to be
if
melee.
Anything, I would just, and it's not just because I'm OCD about it, just even out your cunning. Because cunning and lockpicking and persuasion actually depend upon cunning.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have maxed out both of those skills, and it's still not let you get into a chest because your cunning isn't high enough.
Right. Now, mind you, strength is also an important stat. A lot of people think they can just be glass cannons with rogues. However, there are some bows in the game and certain daggers and weapons in the game that you actually need to have strength for. So just bear that in mind. Now, obviously, we are going to go straight for
Coercion.
Coercion is always great. We have coercion, stealing, trap making, survival, herbalism, poison making, combat training, and combat tactics. Now,
mind you, when I first pulled this up, I thought half of these were useless until I got to the places where I needed them.
and there are ways later on in the game to be able to respec your character in case that you don't make, the right choice right away. They did add that later on into the game, not the base version, but with the addition of DLC. So it did make people very happy because they felt very much stressed out about what they should pick, and then play through the game and realize, oh dear, I can't, make that happen now. We're going to go for coercion. Like I said, saucy, spicy, flirty rogue. So he's going to definitely...
This is going to be a nightmare.
Persuasive is the word we're going to go for here. Basically, he's going to try to get into everybody's pants.
It's going to be mildly entertaining to watch him fail to get into Liliana's pants.
I'm not going for Liliana.
Technically skirt.
To be fair, I have managed to be able to go for both of them at the same time. Won't be doing that this time. I will be going straight for my love, my darling. She's amazing.
We all know Morgan is great, but...
So this screen, obviously, this is where you get your abilities. Now, this level up system is only present in Origins, and I kind of miss it.
It's a lot more specific than though I do like what they did in Inquisition, where you could like open up like the you could get the Inquisition when you get your Inquisition points for every level, you can get like fine tools, deft hands, and you can literally open everything.
And then another thing as well is in the second game, it was less of an ability and more of, if you're a rogue, you can just do it.
Well, that's still, like I said, depended on your the amount of cunning points you had.
Right, based on your stats, whether or not you could do it.
It became minimal in the more they work into the games.
Alright.
I thought you were doing two-handed.
No, I'm going archery road. I could do two-handed, but I didn't do a strength build. So I was gonna go archery.
It doesn't matter. You're two-handed if you're a rogue is off dex.
And strength. Because you'll need strength to wield some of the tougher things.
You can always do that later.
Do what later?
You can always add more strength later.
I could. We're going to do archery, unless you all want to see me just charging blindly, stab things in the back, and basically die.
Okay, I just want to say, let Liliana do that, because when this game...
I don't keep Liliana in my party.
When this game initially, like when they started doing trailers for this and they showed Liliana...
With the bow?
They show her with a bow, but her preset in this, when you first get her, is she will just run up and stab people rather than using her bow, unless you change her tactics.
Yeah. But I won't be using Liliana in my final party, so I will be the ranged character here. So let's go ahead and get to work. Alright.
Just leave it on normal for now. If I ever make you do nightmare mode, it'll be solely for entertainment. Hey, maybe one day, maybe we'll post a...
For generations, your family, the Kuzlans, has stewarded the lands of High Ever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance.
I'm always wondering
Your
who let that
country was
child sit up
occupied
there.
by the Ornesian Empire. Your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Kuzlan's banner in service to the crown, not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial darkspawn rising in the south.
Me adjusting this
I
speech.
trust that mental troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and you can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay.
Yes, that's Tim Curry.
This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True. But we both had less grey in our hair then. And we fought all legions, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Pap, I didn't see you there. Hal, you remember my son?
I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again.
You know, hindsight 2020, you probably should have just stabbed him here. To be fair. Okay.
The game's been around for quite a while. I hope that we don't have to do a warning spoilers for all of this.
Alright, no, I'm fairly certain David Guider already spoiled that for some people.
Right. So, you're the conscience.
Okay. Okay. Was I brought here for a reason? And you, Arhal. Is your family here, Arlhal? Piece of shit. So you're not leaving until tomorrow?
And there goes the monetization.
Shit is not gonna get us demonetized. Pick one.
Oh, you're gonna read all the options, but you're not gonna be the conscience?
Oh, am I gonna pick it? Oh, sweet. 3.
Alright, so we're playing the saucy rogue character. And ignoring our conscience.
Are you fucking kidding me? Listen here. I'm just gonna eat these chips then. Are you certain what's involved with such a task? I'll do my best, Father. What? Why can't I go into battle with you and Fergus? Is that really necessary? Yeah,
I'm
3.
certain you'd more than prove yourself, but I'm not willing to deal with your mother if you join the war.
So we all know who's actually in charge of this place.
She's already twisted into knots about Fergus and Ego. I doubt that.
Why did you click without letting me read?
This is no
Trying to save your voice. There's a lot of dialogue choices.
Great responsibility. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away? Yes. There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan.
I'm pretty sure mice are harmless compared to what is going to happen to this freaking castle.
No, those are some big rats, yo.
You'll notice
Duncan!
you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced.
You know,
Is there a
honestly,
problem?
Of
I
course
think
not.
Duncan should have
But a
waited
guest of this
more
stature
than 30
demands
seconds
certain
after
protocol.
your family
I am
dies to adopt
At a
you.
disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope.
They're an order of great warriors. They just defeated the Darkspawn long ago.
Not permanently, I fear.
Without their warning of the Darkspawn rising now, half the nation could have been overrun before we've had a chance to react. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
I always
If I
feel bad
might
for
be
Sir
so
Gilmore in
bold,
this.
I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is one of my sons we're talking about.
I think I rather like that idea, Father.
I've not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of consent.
See, I
Do
found
it,
this-
Duncan, do it!
While we need as many good recruits as we can find,
I literally walked into this with 2 daggers strapped to my back, and I'm girded for war.
I'll be. Would you want to dress like that in mustard
In
yellow?
the meantime, find Furnace.
Not my color, unfortunately. The black and silver is definitely working for me.
It looks more brown to me.
Where
Where is Fergus? Are you trying to get rid of me? But I'd like to stay and talk to Duncan.
Time after we're gone.
I want to talk to
We must
Duncan.
discuss the battle plans in the south.
Alluding, you'll have plenty of time once we're gone.
Dun-dun-dun, bwah, bwah, bwah. And no, you don't. You don't have any time when he's gone.
Huzzah! Now we have the tactical view.
Scroll your camera forward. Yoink.
Issue orders.
So just click. Right click.
Let me talk to him!
Hit space to unpause it. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. And unpause. Yeah, that's all you gotta do.
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone. Very well. I doubt your father will find a
Questions?
slight delay.
Because Duncan is amazing.
Are there really Darkspawn in the south?
Indeed, we spotted a horde assembling in the Corkari Wilds not 3
The
weeks.
home of my beloved.
Luckily, King Caleb took us
The
around
most awesome character in
marshalled
all
Caleb's forces quickly.
I don't know.
of the
I
series.
Already
I
being
have some
fought.
questions about that,
Father
but
and I
okay.
must move quickly.
How many Darkspawn are there?
Thousands, perhaps 10,000 or more in this horde.
And you don't need
Normally
my
the
help?
Darkspawn stand in deep rows. It bodes ill that so many risk the surface. Well, I understand the first battles have gone easily.
Indeed. Are the Grey Wardens sure?
Nobody
this is
asked you,
light
Tim Curry.
And not simply some large darkspawn raid?
No archdemon has been sighted yet, my lord. But with my entire soul, I believe this is a blight.
I wish we shared your faith. I suppose we shall see for ourselves once we arrive at the King's camp.
Of course. You're young, skilled, and eager for battle.
Damn right I am. I'm also eager to get into some hot ladies'
I
beds.
intend no flattery.
You do realize that
when I
makes you
say
sound like a
show
total
promise.
tool, right?
The old treaties
But
allow
he's
me
supposed to be a total
even
tool.
against your father's
Oh,
wishes.
okay.
But I will
Knock
not
stuff out, man.
Our order is too small to risk animosity with Ferelden's nobility.
I'm glad I am.
It's okay. Once he meets the love of his life,
But I'm content to see
She will
what
set
other
him straight.
candidates your castle offers.
But until then, we're gonna have a threesome with it's the noble and his lady in wait and
I have
his
only
mom's
found
lady
a
in
couple of
waiting.
worthy candidates in
Isn't
my
it?
travels
We'll see.
across Ferelden.
it's not a threesome though, but you can go after her.
Suggesting this
and get her
to
killed.
Gilmore. If he is not suitable,
She will die.
There is a way to get both of them in your bed, though. From what I heard,
I have not managed to get the mom.
not the mom.
The lady in waiting and the lady that she's in waiting to.
No, you can get the lady in waiting, and then oh yeah, you're a dude, so I'm gonna assume that maybe they changed the gender of the noble person. Whatever.
Oh, you're talking about the friend that came to visit.
Oh, just walk.
I know who you're talking about.
Maybe you do, maybe you don't.
not well. King Kalen is an eager young man who is shown great wisdom in responding to the Darkspawn threat.
I've heard he's a bit enraptured with the Grey Warden legend, and that is why he caters to your order.
How? That is unworthy of you.
He only repeats what we've all heard. Whatever the King's reasons, I'll take his support. The priority is defeating the Darkspawn before they threaten...
To be honest, this character would probably get along famously with King Kalen.
Yeah, he drinks with all the soldiers, and I'm like, can't we go with?
Until we speak again.
Not talking to you, Hal. But definitely going to talk to Daddy Dearest.
As I asked. Your brother and I go into battle, not an afternoon tea. Who knows what will happen to us?
That's not the answer anybody wants.
At least he's being honest.
Yeah.
I love you. And I trust you completely to carry on the Kuzlin name if the worst should happen.
Basically,
Don't worry about me, dear
make
boy.
sure I have grandkids.
You'll have enough to occupy your mind while I'm gone.
Well, yeah, that too, and he's basically saying, you're like, are you gonna die? And he's like, probably.
Like, Father, I promise you will have the best grandchild ever. I hear he's a god.
Basically. What do you think Fergus is?
Upstairs,
Or
Miss
where do you
Chambers,
think
no
Fergus
doubt,
is?
saying goodbye to our
What is
darling.
Fergus?
Fergus is pretty badass.
No, I give him mad props.
Absolutely.
Sending all of our forces south, a good idea?
When the king demands it. In fact, not sending our forces south would be a distinctly bad idea. Don't worry, pup. You shouldn't see many problems, but I want you to prepare the men left here. In case.
In case of what?
Legends of the Blight
Turns
tell of
right.
horrible things. Darkspawn
Hal in the background just
Any night.
sharpening a knife.
Oh, never mind.
You must prepare for the worst.
I'll do my best, Father, I swear it. And what?
I know you will. You are a Kuzman, after all.
Hey, I may be a saucy, spicy asshole sometimes, but I love my family.
And the Mako will watch over us. I'll talk to you soon. Just let me
I like how you can basically interrogate the shit out of people. Like, no sane person asks that many questions in a row.
Yeah, there's that. Alrighty, so, not going to talk to anybody else here, because, you know, no point. But we are going to go a little bit of exploring.
I'm only going to let you go outside at the beginning of this.
What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, yeah. That's right.
You're a crazy
This
person.
place is hella big, I forgot.
Time.
I shall do.
Time to steal. Yeah, like I said, you could rob your own house.
Yep. Plus, for experience.
As you say.
Yeah, no, if you view the game from like a dungeon master's perspective, the fact that you leveled up just by stealing all of your own shit is insane.
Very well.
You're in the chantry, Mother Malal.
Maker, prepare a place for us. Redeem our world from sin. Forgive our transgressions.
Maker, forgive us all.
Nope.
Now, I will tell you, I have a very interesting perspective on the religions in this game. The very cool thing about the religions in this game is every single one of them, to a certain degree, is actually based in truth, which is really, as far as the world lore goes. Yeah. Even this whole thing with the Andrastian Chantry, it actually has quite a bit of truth layered into the lore, and that actually gets revealed not only in the items and the codex that you get throughout all of the games, but it also is a major part of the story in the background that helps motivate so many things to happen and explain some of the mysterious stuff that happens too, which is so cool about this game. Love the details. You don't really see that a lot anymore.
I would appreciate that, Mother Malal, perhaps later, if it will make you feel better. I don't see the point.
Yeah, no,
Would it not make you feel better?
Nope.
I suppose it would. I'm just feeling frustrated. I don't think anyone hears our prayers, Malal. I've told you before I don't believe in the Maker.
I pray that the danger your brother and father face might change your mind. It saddens me that you will walk alone in this world and the hereafter by your choice of blindness. But I will bother you no further.
Yeah.
I must yet administer to soldiers who will appreciate it. Excuse me.
Oh, that book says a codex entry. Here you go.
50 experience just to read a book.
What does that say about life?
It means get an education, people. It's good for you. Help you level up in real life.
Yeah, and then you can be like me, a level 90 hermit.
Let's be fair. You haven't hit level 90 just yet.
No, I think I'm just about there. Yeah, so not only can you rob your own house, he's basically robbing the guard's dorm right now.
Because, you know, what's theirs is mine and what's mine is mine. Oh, this is wonderful.
Oh, my lord, we were just,
The one in Inquisition is funnier because they actually lock you out and you're just like, what the chink, and then you go in there and all of your like scouts are like, oh, Inquisitor!
At least they had the decency to lock the doors. They did too, but, well.
Rogue to just shink.
well,
I know that's not how you pick a
treasury's
lock,
sake,
but
I'm not even sure why the town stationed us here.
when in doubt, call the Iron Bull.
We appreciate that.
Which I also didn't understand why it wasn't a thing. Just have bold battering ram into the doors.
Right. Now, I'm an awesome rogue. I should have access to every place in this place.
As you said.
Key required.
No!
Yeah, it's one of those things that like you can't get in there because plot.
There you are. Your mother told me the town had summoned you, so I didn't want to
It's my
interrupt.
boy! Why are you looking for me? Hello to you too, Sir Gilmore. Good thing too, considering Father's company.
Pardon my manners, my lord. It's simply that I've been looking all over the castle for you. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again,
Good.
and is threatening to leave.
Sir Gilmore, you were like my only friend in this place.
Yeah? Could you imagine though, just like whining to him? Did the dog get into the larder again? She was my nanny before she was the cook. Nan won't leave. Nan is just blowing off steam. She's always been like that.
Your mother disagrees. She insists you collect the dog, and quickly.
I mean, she wouldn't be a good mom
These Mabari
otherwise.
hounds, they listen only to their master. Anyone else risks having an armpit.
Because he's an awesome dog.
To be fair, there's only one kind of puppo in this.
That would be wise, before Nan tears down the walls. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know.
I'm a
Smart enough
spoiled
not to
brat.
talk, my father used to say.
I mean,
Of course,
come
that
on.
means he's easily
Of course I
bored.
do.
Nan swears you confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have
I
to
would
accompany
too,
you
though.
until the matter is
If I were a
settled,
dog.
shall we?
To the kitchen then.
Just follow the yelling. When Nan's
So,
unhappy,
am I the
she makes
conscience,
sure
or
everyone
am
knows
I a super girly ass voice that this character has? Nobody's called you on it yet, so it's...
We'll probably end up finding in the comments below exactly what people think. So we're going to put off the kitchen for now because my puppo's a good puppo. And instead, we are going to attend some lessons.
Hello, my dear boy. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
It's so funny to me that your family is important enough to have actual squires.
Boys, you are referring
And
to
a history.
Cousins, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect.
I like this guy.
It's alright. It is boring. Still the taskmaster, I see. They could use
The
some
mind
discipline.
is not exercised, it withers just as the body does. Perhaps you'd care to join me in teaching the lesson?
No thank you, I must attend to a important task. Certainly, I'd be happy to. I'm quite familiar with the subject matter. I'm a bit old for lessons, I think.
Perhaps you could make the topic more palatable for these lads and their minuscule intellects.
I don't think so. Carry on. Very well. I doubt that's possible.
Professor here is pretty savage.
Yeah. It's because they don't know what minuscule means.
The Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start?
At the beginning.
When was our line founded?
We predate the founding of the kingdom, yes.
Tell me about our relationship with All How.
My lesson.
I'll tell you what my relationship is with him.
How did we let him in this castle?
So either I could take credit or I can give him credit. Which one?
I always give him credit.
If I were truly a skilled tutor, I suspect I would not encounter such insouciance amongst my pupils. You can look that up later. At any rate,
Old man still got it.
The one time you do want to be a warrior, so you can just yeet him into the fireplace.
Battled Callahan to maintain Hayaba's independence.
Yep, that's right, everybody. We wanted to just do our own thing when Ferelden was being united. Go figure that one. Crazy dude just shows up like, hey, I'm uniting everybody because we got to do something about these really weird accent-talking people. So, you with me,
Are
right?
you single-handedly managing to offend the French?
I didn't call them French. You called them French. I said weird accent people.
You're talking about the Orlesians. How are they not going to assume it's French?
Because they're Orlesians. Orlesians are next level, okay? Even the French are like, damn.
Okay, we opposed the king, and Callan had let us keep the Tierner. I suppose we lost.
Boom.
Callahan wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elathia's men were defeated,
that kid is just like, are you seriously just, you understand this is all your fault. We could have left by now.
Yeah.
We could have totally bailed. He falls asleep at the drop of the hat.
Like literally as they're just looking in at him, it's like, hey you, old man, you're gonna wake up with a toad in your pillow. That's what I just assume children did in like the Middle Ages.
Right.
It was catch random diseases and catch
are
frogs.
ardent royalists now.
Or toads.
At that time, Callahan was unknown and considered dangerous by many.
Because he
When
was.
Callahan's army reached Hyeva, Tierna Elathia led the local bands against him. Obviously, Callahan won.
No shit, the whole lake is named after him.
Records are vague, but the Kuzlins became Tiers during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child?
Cunning during the lycanthrope plagues.
Because I paid attention. Da, da, da.
Good. I'm pleased some of my lessons seem to have stuck. At that time, your family held only the minor
Just
title of
listen here,
Baron.
old man.
When the werewolves reached this area, Bad Mather Kuzlin organized a curfew.
He's who we should send to the Darkspawn. He'll lecture them to death.
Bands supported his efforts
I mean,
by swearing oaths of fealty,
That's fair.
making him their Tier.
He would just open his mouth and then obviously...
Backstab, 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 backstab.
Literally, yeah, literally that's what it is.
Alright, time to learn about that guy.
Between the Kuzlins and the house reaches back
Tim
to
Curry.
the-
Tim Curry.
We don't say How's name in this thing. Well, I had to say it in order to explain that we don't say it. It's gonna be Tim Curry.
He who must always be called Tim Curry. Is that what we're going with here?
The why's, the what's, and the how's. I can't take credit for that. I stole that joke from Anders.
During your grandfather's rule, Gozole found
Probably
it
one of the
difficult to hold his land.
best companion characters you can get.
Several battles were fought near Hyeva. Port village of Harper's Ford was the Turnier's center. Its arrow was Carleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was It was sharp and bitter as cheap ale.
I mean, if I lived to be 90 during this freaking era, I'd be bitter too.
Yeah.
Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ferry.
Very few places have working plumbing.
I imagine he smells like cheap ale too.
See, now this is how you absolutely know that the Hows are just not on our side. They sided with Orlais.
You really have a thing against Orlais, don't you?
Oh, so bad. Okay, so I don't hate everybody from Orlais, but I terribly hate Orlais so much. Oh, just so much. And to be fair, I hate Tevinter worse.
And to be fair, we're probably going to get to burn down Tevinter.
That I am looking forward to. I'm kind of half and half on the Kuhn, because I like some of the things they stand for, and then the other half is just like, you people are horrible.
Well, no, they have a really good system for how they handle things. It's just sometimes that system is so calculated that they don't leave actual realistic responses when you have some, like, for people's emotions.
That is true. They expect everybody to do exactly what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it.
And that's determined by priests that are basically using their best guesstimate about what their prophet Coslin wanted them to do.
And not only with that and the best intentions in mind, because, people are not always altruistic.
True, but if you expect to rule simply on writ, you'll find yourself ousted by a coalition of angry Harolds. The House eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united
More
behind
foreshadowing.
Merrick and General Loghain, just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Caelan, to fight the Darkspawn.
Time to end the lesson, I think.
I don't think we have an option.
Thank you for indulging.
Like I said, I'm still up for yeeting him into the fireplace.
We have to listen to you now.
Yeah!
Silas, I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans.
Do it.
I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself.
Shh. Hey, run. Run.
Run while you can. He legit goes to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Run.
Yeah, honestly, why don't they just move while he falls asleep?
Looking around.
As you say.
I hate. It's so weird playing on the computer.
It's all janky, especially when you played it on comics on game systems. I'm dying. That's how it goes. I like that he just sleeps standing up.
I wish I could just have that toggled. I wonder if there's a way to toggle that to always show loop instead of me constantly having to hit the tab key. We'll have to look into that.
I mean, eventually. Yeah, there's not really that much stuff in the library.
No, but free experience.
The dining hall.
Alright, we're going to the kitchen, people.
Just to see if he can make absolutely any progress in this game.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder. But mistress, it won't let us near. I can't get into that larder. I'll skin both of you useless elves, I swear it.
Now,
which is super offensive.
We come to help.
don't hold it against Nan. She's not really racist. She'll say that to everybody. She'll legitimately just hates anybody who gets in her way.
Yeah, she's kind of just mean to everyone. I'm sorry, he's bothering you, Nan. He's not a mongrel, he's a pure-blood Mabari. Perhaps you should lock your larder tighter. Maybe you should be put down.
Now, this is my nanny. She's family. I'm gonna treat her nice.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two,
I mean,
stop standing there like idiots.
it's
Get out
not
of the way.
really full anymore. Everybody just left.
No, they haven't left yet. You haven't even talked to Fergus.
Well, they're on their way out. So.
Yeah, so she has to feed them before they leave.
Hey, look, stuff! Oh, by the way, just in case you all are kind of wondering why there's extra stuff here.
It's called DLC.
Rio here has already gone through on the computer version and beaten all of the DLC and gotten all sorts of cool extra items. So we'll probably put on a few of those right now just to kind of show them off.
I really wouldn't worry about it for the time being, because they'll be more useful later anyways. Just for the time being, the tutorial's not difficult enough that you would even need it.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm still going to throw it on.
Those are amulets. You can only have one amulet at a time.
This is true. Improves blood.
Yeah, why not? And it's so funny to me, because once you unlock all of the subclasses, you can legit make Win a blood mage.
Yeah, that is true.
Which you would think would be like, no.
Right.
Just click on your armor. Click on the armor. Hold it. And now put it back. That's what it wants you to do.
You know what? It's making me do weird things. Like actually learn how to play the game.
Drag the health poultice to your toolbar so it'll get rid of it. And now close out of it. Ta-da!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, go to the corner windows. Go over. There you go. You look like an idiot.
Let's take that off. Oh wait, no, you can hide helmets, can't you?
It hides them during cutscenes.
Okay. Well, we're just gonna look like an idiot.
You're gonna walk around like... Okay, I can officially call you Buckethead.
Alright, so, character's new name is no longer Mark. It is Buckethead. This is the tales and the adventures of Buckethead, son of Bucket Man, from the great line of household cleaning supplies.
Basically.
Very well.
My puppo!
Yeah, like I said, there's one kind of dog in this game.
I love my puppo.
Look at that mess. How did he even get here?
With skill.
Look at the little tail.
Puppo!
He will eat people.
Enough, you're a bad boy. Do you hear me?
Oh.
What a smart boy you are. Oh, yes, you are.
Why don't you? No wonder he keeps giving that fits.
He's a good puppo.
It does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait, did you hear that?
You have to name him Puppo.
Puppo?
Yeah. Because if you name him after any one of our dogs, that's favoritism.
But Puppo works too.
Yeah.
Now
Like,
we
could be any dog.
But he's our Puppo.
Yeah. Mulbaris are great. Yeah, see, those are some big ass rats.
Yes, they are. Ladies and gentlemen.
Giant rats. I'm sorry, nothing will beat the beginning of Bard's Tale. When you go and you're like, ha! I killed the rat! I'm amazing! And you go to leave, and that freaking giant one comes out from nowhere and just kills you immediately.
Pretty much. Alright, so the cool thing about this game, and To be fair, it's one of the first ones that I've ever played that used this system, and the first one I ever played that does it well is that you can actually individually control each one of your party members and send them off to do things. You can pause the game at any time during combat to reassign your characters to make them do things like chug a health potion, which you will do many times in this game.
Yeah, well, though, I mean, to be fair, we're playing it on normal. It probably won't be nearly as bad.
Fair enough. We do have a bit of an advantage.
These should murder quickly.
So, let's get to it, shall we?
Yeah, these are one-hit KOs. I think they literally have 3 health each. Though, and, like, to be fair, in concept, if a bunch of giant rats came at me in the fucking pantry, I'd leave the pantry. I'd leave the pantry.
Giant rats. It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell.
More foreshadowing!
Chase them in through their holes.
But also, that's like the best that's the best, like, throwback to Bard's Tale. It's like every bad adventuring story.
Pretty much. That's what we should have done. We should have made a drinking game out of every time that this game foreshadows what's going to happen in the tutorial level, in the origin story.
I'd be dead.
You'd be making me take the shots.
Okay, you'd be dead.
Possibly.
Slower, but you'd be dead.
I'm the great immortal ogre. As I lay on the ground and cry myself to sleep.
Maybe it was just a coincidence, so my hand put me in danger. Great. It certainly looks that way. Those are very large rats.
I've seen larger. They come up from the Kokari Wilds sometimes. But seeing as you've got your Mabari one in hand, I'll be on my way.
I feel like we just missed That's What She Said joke.
Yeah.
Time to rob the larder. Exactly what Nan was wanting to not happen. So I take all of the everything.
So, can we talk about how elf fruit is basically weed?
Oh, but it heals you too, which is fantastic.
There he is, as brave as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
Actually, he was defending your larder from rats. Big ones.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones.
They'll rip you to shreds, they will.
See, now you've gone and scared
Which is
the
funny to
servants.
me, because does that mean the servants have less health than the rats?
That's fairly understandable, but that they knew about giant, large, gray rats that tear you to shreds makes me wonder exactly what it is that they talk about.
They probably tried to tell Nan about it, but she basically ignores them because they're servants.
Could be.
This is a whole messed up system. Yes, the rats are dead. It's quite a mess, in fact. My faithful warhound made sure it's safe. I took care of it. No need to be afraid.
We definitely need to make sure that the puppo gets credit where it's due.
Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with.
How would he do that? They came from the Kokori Wilds. We can't...
Don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms.
No, you're not. No one is.
Here then. Take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog.
Literally.
Thank you. Now you can get to work. That's
Blood
right,
spatter.
you two quit standing about.
Yep, that's right. Get to work.
Thank you again for your help. Now, if you'll just hold on a moment. Yeah?
Alright, you know what? I'll just go...
I need get moving with those casts. And Cat, do you think you can serve that to turn with dirt from the floor all over it?
Miserable bear.
Oh, that am I. We've got to work double time on supper, sweep out the hearth, and no complaining.
Busy day. Have you considered whipping them? Any more rat problems?
Jeez.
Just keeping order. That's why your father keeps me on. Midmaker knows I needn't take care of you anymore. Thank you for coming to your old man's rescue.
I mean, he could use it.
He's more trouble than he's worth. He is.
There are going to be times where I need an adult who's going to...
I need an adult! I am an adult.
I need a
Say
real
well
adult.
behaved, I hope.
That would be boring.
And that's why you made your nanny old before her time. That bedtime tale I used to tell you, the dog that bit.
I remember it. Oh, Maker, not this again. Not too well, no. I don't have time for stories, Nan.
Yes, this again.
Before our fathers came down from the mountains, once upon a time there was a dog, and he bit somebody. In a dark, murky world, there was a smelly cook. I don't remember how it goes. I have to find Fergus. I have no time for this.
Alright, so we're going to recount the tale the proper way, but these are great.
Yeah.
A warhound was born to the elder bitch of a tribal chief. They named him Hahaku.
I like that she calls the dog a bitch, because it does literally mean female dog.
It does. It's the
But
proper way of saying it.
It's the proper way. It's not the way I use it.
I don't know.
The dog found the idea tedious, and Hohaku grew prideful. Hohaku wanted nothing to do with it. I don't have time for this.
The young hound became arrogant, taking food from his kin and warning them
I
in
just
the way of
love,
dogs.
like, this is one of the things that in an RPG that just appeals to me, is when the developers, when the creators have taken enough time to throw something like this into the game, just because it benefits the lore of the game. It's amazing. It shows that they really loved the story that they were creating.
The day might come when his boy's life would depend on this dog.
Every day.
If the humblest of his people would not trust Hahaku, how could he?
So he made a weaker dog his son's partner. Hohaku's own misdeeds bit him. Strong or not, he chose a more reliable dog. I'm thirsty. I'll just go get a drink.
When the day came, Hahaku sat proudly waiting to be called. But the old chief chose Hahaku's brother as his son's hound. Hahaku was shamed, but felt no remorse. So great was his rage that he darted across the fire pit and bit the chief's hand.
Should have waited until the chief was alone. A bold move. That was a mistake.
The chief and his son struck at Hahaku, cursing him. The hound ran into the village, seeking shelter in the tents and kennels. The other dogs snapped at him, and the tribe's people threw stones at him. Before the chief could reach him, the tribe had torn Hahaku apart. Now, what should you carry from this tale?
Don't abuse your power. How you treat the least is remembered by the greatest. The weak pull down the strong when they can. No one is above justice. Respect all equally. Old nurses tell boring stories.
Precisely. The tribe and their dogs granted the chief and his dogs their authority. When they saw that Hahaku was unworthy, they turned on him. But you're far too old now for an old woman to be reminding you to watch how you behave. Hmm?
Why'd you tell me that story? You aren't comparing my Mabari to Hohaku, are you? Thanks for the story. It was thoughtful of you. Yes, I am.
It's a story worth repeating. That's all. Be off with you then. Tell your brother farewell before he rides off to war. I can't chatter anymore. I've a whole army to feed and then some. And don't think you two will get away from me anytime soon.
We're trying to give you a chance to escape.
I'd be black and blue if I didn't need your arms working. Blasted elves.
Okay, that's where we're going to stop for now, because the beginning of this is just a shit ton of cutscenes, and I don't want to make it too long considering it's our first video back. And it's not going to take long to kill the shit out of everybody, at least for the origin part. The next part will be more during the day, and we can do a longer video. Because the next part will at least try to get through the Kokori Wilds.
Oh, jeez.
At least. So thank you everybody for watching, and that's gonna be it for now. And this is your fearless leader Rio and Buckethead signing off. Bye.